What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Habotich here, bringing you a new commentary. Here to talk about the new NBA 2K13 gameplay and everything else that's new in the game that I've heard about. And maybe the fixes of the glitches and cheese that's been throughout NBA 2K12 gameplay. So, some things that have been fixed. Defensive movement. There's no more sliding or warping in magical defense. It's actually realistic now. If you're beaten by a player, you won't recover. That means that on a fast break, when you or an opponent is running down the floor and you're not running back the same speed as the offensive player, the speed won't be the same. Like, speed is fixed, basically, what I had to say. And if you beat somebody, like you cross them over, they won't be able to get back. There's no fake cheese in the game. On-ball defense. What I heard, there's a new engine where, like, it looks more realistic. If you bump into someone, it feels more natural. And I heard the overall defense is vastly improved, and there's much better block on the perimeter. It looks more realistic when the blocks happen, and when you go to the rim, a guy isn't magically just put into the paint to block you there, and vice versa. Double teaming, there isn't really much difference there. Graphics, there's not much of an improvement, but there's slight improvement in the player models. It's not really good, but it's a little bit of improvement. They animate more like a 2K8. Collision system, I think this is really important, and also gladly it's extremely improved with tons of animations when driving to the basket, and that when you hit collision, like when you're driving and someone hits you, it looks a lot more realistic, and there's many more outcomes that can happen instead of the same, where you like would hit and your player would fall down, or you get the easy layup, like you'll just go over them. It's not that easy this time. There's different dunk animations. You don't always dunk it either when you go over somebody. That's not the only way you can score. If you beat them with finesse, you can lay it in. Right stick dribble system. Well, there is this that makes it much easier to cross over people, and if you learn how to use it, it's very, very, very filthy, as they would say. Like, you can cross people over and make them look really bad, but from what I heard, it's hard to use. The bad complaint that I've heard about is jump shots. If you have no problem with 2K13 jumps, you're fine, but it's not fixed from what 2K12 jump shots were like. They're about the same. I heard I wasn't too impressed with those in 2K12, but I didn't have major complaints with that. 2K12 feels like 2K13 somewhat, like, except for the movements, much more smooth, especially on defense, and the rim physics are the exact same. Passing wasn't too much different. Jump shots, floor spacing, pre-game presentation, even the camera angle on tip-off, all areas looked near 2K12, which I am kind of pissed off about, because things like that are things I notice. Random things that are different: when the shot clock is running down and there's less than a second to play, your player will throw up a shot, a quick shot, not a shot that they won't take their time with a full shot. Like, if there's 2 seconds left on the shot clock, they won't just like do their full release and have the violation go off. They'll throw up a quick shot. I think the odds are much less to go in, but that's, I think, a really cool feature. It makes it more realistic. Also, off the ball fouls and over the backs are now more visible through collision animations. So now you can really tell fouls differently, which looks more realistic. Another thing, dunks in traffic tend not to go in. Saw a couple of instances where the dunker would just pass and throw it at the rim. So that's better when, like I would say, like with LeBron James in 2K12, they would definitely always, like, he was pretty much unstoppable. They would, with contact, you would still dunk the ball. Now it seems that the tendency goes in much less. A really, really great thing, manual bounce pass. So instead of getting your pass picked off out of the air, you can choose when to bounce pass it to your teammates, which I think will help with assists a lot and turnovers. The ball feels a lot more loose this year, which I don't know if I'm excited about. I'll see. And if you dribble too much with the right stick, you'll lose the ball, which I think is very important because I think people would have used that too much and crossed people over until. But if you lose the ball, then it'll stop people from cheesing. Post game, it was expanded on. I don't know how much or to what extent, but yeah, it was expanded. When you shoot a contested jump shot, your player will kick out his leg, which I think is important because it creates space and it looks more realistic. On replays, your player is colored, whereas all other players are black and white. I don't really know about that. That's not really a big thing. Another thing I heard, which is really cool, is the Nike shoes. Nike, if you wear Nike, you know, in that LeBron James commercial, how there was that, like, him jumping and it slowed down and it showed the vertical. On replays on dunks and stuff, if you wear those shoes or any in that collection, it'll show you how high your vertical was, which I think is pretty cool. It's not that big of a thing, but it seemed pretty cool. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what I've heard about NBA 2K13. We'll probably hear a lot more in the coming months or weeks, and I'm excited for the game. I hope you enjoyed this commentary. I'm High Voltage. And subscribe, comment, or like. I'm out.